Ugh, this is, okay. I think of all the things I hate the most, I hate my teeth and I hate my skin. And I have a very love-hate relationship with my hair. I always wanted straight hair, always. Um, but now, it's growing on me. I'm trying to force myself to like it because nobody else in my family has curly hair except my dad. And my dad, he passed away when I was really little, when I was 8 years old. So this is the thing that I most inherited from him, and I feel like it's my only real connection to him since he's been gone for so long. So I'm really trying to like my naturally curly hair.
They would have baby powder and it was white. And if you put it on, you get pale. And then, like, I remember being 7 and just going into the bathroom with that, like, baby powder and just, like, slapping it on my skin and trying to make me look paler and thinking to myself, like, oh, it looks better, but it'll come off. It'll wash off.
Um, I the top part of the head has been a big part of the growing up experience. Um, I have a 5 head. I'm talking 5+ head, like 5 fingers plus wiggle room. Um, I think growing up, the head and what comes out of the head was a big part of who I was. I was that kid with the hair.
So, like, I will, the sides, the outline of your face and how round it looks. Um, Oftentimes, I'll like try to see if the sides of my face have gotten thinner, or if it looks like I have higher cheekbones, because it'll mean that I've lost weight, or that I look thinner.
I think around like middle school and like beginning of high school, like I think like a lot of other pressures started to emerge about like being skinny and like weighing a certain amount instead of just how like short or tall I was. And so I think that's when I really started to like notice other people, like my friends started going on like diets, and like I started like my mom made me read these like girly magazines that I didn't want to read, but like, all of the pictures in there were like really skinny, like, white girls with like blonde hair and like blue eyes, which I didn't have either, obviously.
But yeah, in general, I feel like I've sort of come out of the being really insecure. Like I was such a tomboy growing up, always in boys' clothes. My dad cut my hair. I had these like ridiculous bangs, just like whoosh, and then like a bowl cut. So I think at first I was like struggling, like, oh, like, are my parents gonna be upset if I start dressing more girly girl? But like, obviously they don't care. I just didn't realize that.
My mom is an immigrant from Thailand, and my dad was white. And a lot of people, there's this notion that mixed race babies are the most beautiful babies, especially half Asian ones. And I feel like people say that a lot, and I've never looked in the mirror and thought, I am beautiful, I'm so lucky to be a mixed race person. I think I feel a lot of pressure um, from my mom to be this beautiful person. I was just home over the weekend, and my mom, she saw me and she said, "Oh, your skin." And it's just like, "Thanks, Mom. I already know my skin is horrible." So I think a lot of my I think a lot of my own feelings about it, um, come from my mom not being so happy with my appearance. Oh, jeez. And I think because of that, I wear a lot of makeup. Because if my mom's the only person maybe being honest with me, then maybe lots of people think I have horrible skin. I mean, I do, but maybe other people are just not so rude as my mom. Yeah, I think I have a really unhealthy image of myself, and it's hard because I've done research on beauty, and I know that all of this is just constructed, and because society puts so much pressure on women, but I know that, but I still don't feel beautiful when I look in the mirror. I'm still not happy when I look at myself in this recording. I think I'm constantly at war with my body and my appearance because of more than the media and fucking society and all this. I think it's just my mom being unhappy with me.
I moved a lot through different countries. I'm 18 now, and I can safely say that I've moved through like 6 different countries. I was born here in New York, in America, but I only stayed here for 2 years. And then I moved to Bangladesh for a year, though I can barely remember it. And I moved to Thailand for a year, and I can kind of remember that, not really, sort of. But my memories really started to form when I was in Italy. And, in Italy, everyone's like Caucasian and stuff. And like, I wasn't. People used to call me Pocahontas. And I guess it kind of got to me because like I didn't feel pretty when like I was okay with it when they told me that, but then it made me feel insecure, I guess, because I was different from everybody. I looked different. I wasn't the typical Italian beauty, and I didn't have pale skin. Like knowing I couldn't change it and feeling like I can be beautiful like other people was it made me feel like hell insecure. It made me feel really alone in where I was in Italy.
What do I see? All right, when I look in the mirror or the computer screen, I see the hair, I see my face. I feel pretty good, When I was younger, I did not. I found old school photos of myself, and I just snapshotted each one of them from every year, and I looked through them just to see. I was curious, what was the progression like? What was the difference between 4th grade versus 8th grade versus 12th grade me? And then finally my current passport photo, which is also the first photo in a passport that I'm content with, which was a cool feeling. And I saw a lot of hair. I got a haircut when I was in second grade, 3rd grade. It was unfortunate. If you have curly hair, don't get a bowl cut. Bowl cuts as a curly haired kid is not a bad idea. It's a bad idea. It's not a good idea. So yeah, basically I realized that the time period during which I was most insecure was the time when I was growing into my hair. So there was a correlation. It took me a lot of years to figure out how to control it. And I think that scared me. I like having control, And to have things about yourself that you can't control growing up was difficult. I'm fairly content, actually. The hair worked out, sort of. I know how to control it. I know what to do now. It's kind of hat hair and nap hair combined, but I'm okay with my forehead. It's okay. I think I never really had major body issues per se. It was more the face because, the face is the first thing that people see. The face is how you, yeah, it's your face forward. And so I think coming to terms with the fact that this is my face, this is what I'm going to live with for the rest of my life, I feel pretty good.
I have always had an issue with my weight. So when I was smaller, I used to be a lot chubbier. And even now, I still wish I was much more fit, I guess. A part of it just stems from when I was younger because, I was a lot chubbier. And I think I only had one instance where it could be considered bullying. So I was in the 6th grade, and I just sat down on a chair, and I was with a group of other students sitting around in a circle, and I was playing around with my chair, lifting off the front edge of the chair, and just resting on the back 2 legs, and then when I brought it down, I accidentally brought it down on the foot of one of the students next to me. It was a boy. It just so happened that I had a semi-crush on that boy, and so it was so simple, but he called me, a bad name, that emphasized my weight, and it just, it hurt. Of course it hurt. Part of it had to do with the fact that it was a boy that I, had a semi-crush on, but another part of it was just that nobody had ever pointed it out to me before. And I thought, when I looked in the mirror, I knew that I was chubbier than my friends, but no one had ever voiced it out loud. And even now, when I've gone on and off, sort of trying to go work out more and diet in a healthy way. Dieting and exercising on a constant basis is hard, and you need motivation. One of the motivations I always find myself going back to is thinking one day I'll meet that kid again, and he'll see the difference. More than anything else, I really want to be fit. So not just losing weight, but actually feeling healthy about my body and feeling energy and feeling on top of it. And so I'll go on, Pinterest for inspiration, for example, and look up images of people with toned arms and toned legs, and it's an inspiration. And it's not. I think people have this idea of you mentioned the fact that you're dieting, and people will automatically be like, no, you're hurting yourself. That's not healthy. And dieting can be healthy if you do it in the right way. It's not about starving yourself.
So I was always the smallest kid, shortest kid growing up, in all my classes and everything. And that was a very big part of my body image growing up, was just I was always short, and I always hated that so much. And I would tell my mom that I hated being short, and she would always tell me, oh, just wait until you hit puberty, you'll hit your growth spurt. And I never did because I'm still short, but I'm okay with that now. I think something that's been really helpful to me in like becoming more comfortable with myself is actually selfie culture. So recently I got a smartphone for one, and so that has like a really great camera that I can like take pictures of myself or like other things with, and like I've also at the same time started to see a lot more articles and things on the internet relating to like selfie culture, so taking pictures of yourself and like posting them or not posting them, and like it's just funny how like empowering it can be, even though it's like such a small thing. I don't know, I think it's just really cool that like in the mainstream media, like we see all of these like representations of women that like are not accurate at all and like make us feel horrible about ourselves. And like, you know, I think it's just really powerful that people now like I can just like take a camera and like take a picture of myself, and like then I am controlling how I'm portrayed, and I get to see myself how I want to see myself instead of always having the camera be in the hands of someone else.
I considered waiting to do this till I like showered and made myself look better, because with it being the weekend, I'm definitely a little bit of a hot mess right now, but that's okay, I guess. I don't know. You could. I guess I could. I guess there's definitely days where I don't think I look that good, but I think a lot of times it's more just I'm upset with myself. I think it's just tied. I think our self appearance is really tied to our self valuation and what we think we're worth and what we think, how we think our life is going, all that. I think really just being okay with wherever I am at any given day is important. And right now, yeah, that's about all I can ask for.